Well, hello, sports fans. Larry Eater, Run Blog Run. This is Conversations with Larry. I'm in San Jose, California, sitting in my dad's office looking at all the cool pictures of my nieces and nephews, my mom and my dad. And 44 years of living in one place really creates a lot of memories. And I'm enjoying recording here. Mike Deering, our production manager, likes it because it's the best server response we get and best router response we get. And so we don't get all those little breaks and everything. So thanks, Dad. Pretty cool stuff. He was really into his, had to be checking, his multiple devices all the time and watching old movies. So today we're talking about the World Champs in Eugene, Oregon, coming up July 14th to July 15th to 24th in Eugene. It'll be the new Hayward Stadium, which I think is fantastic. A few little things they're going to be fixing up, but you know what? They've done an incredible job. I was there several times last year, and I loved it. I loved the seating. I loved the views. I love the enthusiasm of the athletes who were there. I loved the quality of the announcing, and actually the food. And there was a food app about getting food during the pandemic, which is pretty cool too. So Hayward's got a lot of things going on. And a couple other things too. They brought in Jesse Gabriel, who is managing communications and PR for them. And they brought in Josh Gurnick, who was at USATF. He's the digital manager for World Champs Eugene 22. The meet's going to have athletes from 209 countries. They're going to have over 2,600 athletes. It is the finest track meet in the world. It is bigger and better than the U.S. Olympic trials, which is pretty big praise from me. And I think it's bigger and better than the Olympics in a lot of ways. And let me espouse on that for a second or two. I think the biggest thing is about the competition and having all the great athletes in one place, and that the level of competition continues to rise, and the fans love it too. And hopefully there'll be 25 to 26,000 folks sitting and standing in lovely Eugene, Oregon. The challenges are going to be housing. Where are you staying? A lot of people are going to be taking the bus up from Portland. A lot of people could be an hour or 2 hours north or south in Oregon, or getting up near the Washington border, going into Washington. Restaurant waits are going to be crazy. I hope people have got that together. Transportation. How are you to do transportation? And dear God, what happens if a pandemic breakout happens? So what is going to happen? The Olympic trial showed us that you're going to get the stalwarts. There were 7,000 or 8,000 in there, but it didn't fill the place up. And that what really astounded me. And in talking to the World Championships a little while back, I believe it was Heather Beck told me that they were focusing at that time on getting the locals to sign up and buy tickets because they didn't know if people were going to even be allowed in. And that's craziness when you think about a World Championships, but it's stuff that they have to deal with. How can we help them? How can the media outside of Eugene help? I think stories about the athletes, telling the stories, telling why these people are working so hard in November and December to make a meet that's going to happen in June or July. Those are the things that are important. Those are the stories that are important. But with the dearth of media, with the demise of sports media everywhere, unless it's NASCAR, because NASCAR is the only thing that's paying its way right now in local newspapers. Football sure doesn't do it. Baseball sure doesn't do it. Basketball sure doesn't do it. But those things paying their way, telling the stories, making events accessible are really, really key. It's important that the local organizing committee, World Athletics, USATF, the state of Oregon get on the same page. I think they are. I'm not insinuating that they're not, But sometimes when you hear some of these stories, you're kind of going, what's going on? The world champs in Eugene will be a huge success, but they could be bigger. They can fill the place up. They can be that launching point for track and field in North America as we build to 2028. That's my hope and prayers. What are yours? If you have ideas, email me at runblogrun@gmail.com. This is Larry Eder, RunBlogRun, Conversations with Larry, production manager Michael Deering of the Shoe Addicts. Stay safe.